Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel named as Cat to I'm by Manoj Mahajan. Today's session is damn important as we are going to discuss the IIFT strategy, guys. So before coming to the strategy, let's try to understand the cutoffs which were there in the past 2 years. And also based on the criteria for the cutoffs, we are going to plan the best strategy so that you can do well in the IIFT paper. So make sure that you watch the video till the end. So first, let's come to the IIFT 2021-2023 cutoffs, guys. So they do have the overall cutoff and also they have the sectional cutoff, very, very important, guys. And the cutoffs are as per the category as well. So if you look in the general, the cutoff was 43.5. For the general EWS, OBC non-creamy layer, guys, was 36. For SC, ST, PWD, Kashmiri migrants, non-migrants, guys, it was 15. So these were the overall cutoffs which I can look forward, guys. Now let's have a quick look of the sectional cutoff, right? So if you look the current pattern, which we can expect also for this year, there are 4 sections, guys. General awareness. So this is a problem for a lot of students, guys, but nothing to worry about, honestly, because the cutoffs are damn low. So if you look over here, the total marks shown over here is 30. And the cutoff, if I look for the general category, for general EWS, for OBC, NCL, was just 5.5. Now remember, the marking scheme, if I look for the general awareness, is 1.5 for every correct answer. Yes, there is negative marking to the extent of there is 1/3 of the marks allotted to each question. So over here, 1/3 of 1.5 would become 0.5, guys. So if you look over here, the cutoff goes damn low, guys, in this section because it is a nightmare for a lot of students. So if you do 4 or 5 questions correct also, out of those 20 questions which do appear in the general awareness, you can look forward to clear the cutoff, right? Even if the other categories, if I look, SC, ST, PWD, Kashmiri migrants, non-migrants, it was a little lower, 4.5. Now, if I come to, guys, the reading comprehension and the verbal ability section, guys, this section has the maximum questions also. And if you look, 35 questions are there and each question has 3 marks. So the penalty now would be, guys, 1 mark if you get it wrong, because 1/3 of 3 would be 1. So 105 is the total marks, and the cutoff, if I look in this category, guys, general EWS, OBC, NCL was 19. And for the other categories, guys, it was 15. So if you look in terms of questions, if I see, guys, around 7 questions, if you get correct, guys, in the verbability and the RC section, guys. I'm talking about the IIFT 2021-2023 cutoffs, guys. You could have managed to clear the cutoff, right? So just 7 correct questions, guys, out of 35, right? So not a difficult task, guys, to clear the cutoff. So a major problem which is there is students find it difficult to clear the cutoff in each of the sections. That is a big problem, guys. So we'll see what could be the best strategy so that we don't miss out on the sectional cutoff, guys. Now, when you come to the logical reasoning and the DI, it is clubbed together, guys. You have 30 questions. Again, the marking scheme is, guys, +3 for every correct and 1 would be directed for a wrong, guys. So total 90 marks it is, guys, the section. So look at the cutoff, just 13, my lucky number, guys, over here. And which translates into, guys, if I do around 5 questions correct also, I can clear the cutoff, right? For the other category, it was 10, guys. Now, when you come to the quant section, guys, there are 25 questions in total. Again, the marking scheme is same, guys, +3 for every correct and 1 would be directed for a wrong answer. So out of 75, guys, the cutoff was just 8 marks. So a lot of people are worried about the quant section. So yes, quant, if I look the past few years, it has been really on the difficult side, I would say. So that's why the cutoff has been quite low. So if you just do 3 questions correct, also you could have cleared the cutoff, right, for this IIFT. And for the other categories, it was even a little lower. That was just 6 marks, if you can see over here. So I would tell you in a while about the past 2 years difficulty level also section wise, and based on the cutoffs also you can look forward that GK would definitely be on the difficult side, so low cutoff we have. Even if I look, the quant section was also on the difficult side. VRC and LRDI, if I look over here, not that scoring guys, but still people could manage to score in these two areas in IIFT 2021, 2023 guys. So if you look a similar cutoffs, I'll show you for the 2022, 2024 also. So you would get a fair idea about the difficulty level, right? So as of now, if I look for the past 2 years, if I see especially, I see none of these sections actually scoring. Look at the cutoffs also, right? So we'll see how we are going to maximize our score in a while. Let's just quickly come to the cutoff of 2022-24 IIFT guys. So if you look for the general category, overall it was 42.6. For general EWS, OBC, NCL, it was 35.1. And for the other categories, it was guys 27.6. So if you look again, the marks were same across the each of the sections guys, as it was in the previous IIFT. So if you look, general awareness section, again 30 marks, 20 questions were there. VRC 105 marks, DLR 90 marks, QA 75. And look again, the cutoff was on the lower side. Quant was again in the single digit guys, just 8 marks, which means it was on the difficult side. So we have to see in the quant that can we identify 4 or 5 questions which are little easier or direct questions which we can do, because there are a lot of difficult questions in the quant looking at the past few years, and even lengthy guys. So you have to be very selective, right? Even if I look over here in general awareness, the trend goes on the similar lines, the cutoffs being very low, 4.5 for general EWS, OBC, NCL, and just 3 for the other categories guys. Even if you look, VRC used to be guys earlier a scoring section guys. If you go a few years back, the cutoff used to be a little higher. But if you look in the 2024, it was just 11 marks guys. So if I look over here, doing 4 questions correct also would have cleared the cutoff, right? So I don't know why people are much worried about the IIFT, that it's so tough, it's so tough. Yes, it is tough guys, but if I look over here, the cutoffs goes very low. So if you are balance in your approach, that can you divide the sufficient time to each of the sections so that you don't miss out the sectional cutoff, and you can look forward to maximize the overall cutoff. Is cleared. So in that case, we have to plan some strategy time wise also to each of the section, and a buffer time concept also. We'll come to that in a while guys. Even when you come to DLR guys, just 5 questions correct if you do would fetch you easily 14 marks guys, and you can clear the cutoff. If I look over here for VRC, if I look for the other category like SC, ST and others, it was just 6 number, and for DLR it was 10 guys. So if you look over here, as I told you that VRC used to be scoring earlier. Even if I look, the LR part used to be scoring, but looking at the cutoffs for the last 2 years, none of the section seems to me as scoring guys. So you have to be very selective going section wise, and so that only the doable ones, the questions which will take less time, you can do it and clear the cutoff of each of the section guys. But one thing, please remember that don't go with that notion that nothing would be scoring, right? It is very much possible that this year you get some section which could be scoring, right? So you have to use your senses also while attending the paper guys. This is just what I've shown you for the past 2 years guys. So please make sure that you keep your eyes open, make sure that you use your brain, that if something is scoring, we should look forward to score in that particular area, right? So over here, if I look the cutoffs, I don't see any of the section was actually scoring, right? So you have to struggle if I look over here to maximize your overall score also, right? So let's look at the criteria, guys. So I would explain you how they come up to this cutoffs, guys. Like if I say for 2022-24, it was 42.6 overall for the general category. Let's see how we can look forward to figure out this, right? So I hope the cutoffs are clear in your mind. So it's damn low, nothing to worry about. You can easily clear the cutoff by giving sufficient time to each of the section, guys. So that's very important. So let's look at the criteria, guys. And I personally feel that uh, kind of criteria they have given you, guys. So let's just look at over here. Uh, if you are actually done well in the 10th, done well in the 12th, and let's say in the academic diversity, guys, you are a non-engineer, right? Done well, what I mean is, guys, if you look greater than 90, you would get the maximum over here, that is 10. Greater than 90, again, if I show you for 12th also, you have the same criteria, guys. So remember, it talks about all subjects, right? So whatever subjects are mentioned on your mark sheet, guys, of 10th, 12th, that would be considered, guys, for the calculation. So if you look over here, if you are scoring above 90 in 10th, above 90 in 12th, you would definitely straight away get 10-10 over here. Academic diversity, let's say non-engineer, and gender diversity, let's say you are a female, right? So if I look this criteria, if you fulfill, right? So in that case, the maximum you can get is 27. So I'm just taking one example of a student, let's say, who gets 27 on 27. That is very much possible, guys. So I would just show you that someone who gets 27 out of 27, how much he has to look forward in the IFT, guys, so that he can, he or she, that should actually be she, not he, because this 27 can be only a female can get, guys. So one thing is very sure that I should not use the word he over here. So let me put she, right? And so this 27 out of 27, only a female can get, guys. That's for sure. So let's say there's a female candidate who gets 27 out of 27. How much score she requires in the IIFT to get a call based on the past IIFT, guys? And I would take another example, guys, the worst. So this is the best example I took. The worst I can take is, guys, what? Male, right? You are. And if I look over here, let's say engineer. So probably in that case, you won't be scoring anything over here. So being a male, you would be getting 0. Being an engineer, you would be getting 0, guys. That is one thing. And let me just add on to the thing over here. Let's say the rating is the lowest you have 1 and 1, both in 10th and 12, which means less than equal to 55, guys. So how much do you get over here is, guys, just 2 marks, right? Over here you got 27 because of a female non-engineer, guys, who are right. And yes, 90 plus in 10th, 90 plus in 12th. Over here, what we did is, guys, less than equal to 55 both in 10th and 12th. So this is the best scenario. This is the worst scenario we can have, right? And you will find out that the huge difference in the IIFT score to get a call, right, between these two scenarios. So let's see quickly how we can calculate, guys. So if I just pick up a general in both the scenarios, I'm taking the category to be general, guys, in both. So general versus general, I'm comparing over here, right? So let's see 42.6 it was, right? Now, what does it mean, guys? Let's translate into, if I look at this part, 42.6. And if I go for this best possible scenario, so let's say you get straight away 27, right? So let's subtract 27. What do I have, guys, over here? 15.6, correct? So if you calculate now the IIFT score, which you actually require to get a call based on the past year, that is 2022-24, guys, it would definitely change. It would be closer to it, maybe higher, maybe lower, right? So I'm just giving you the idea based on the previous cutoffs, right? So if you look over here, they have given you a 73% weightage to the IIFT score, right? And you know, guys, that the overall paper, if I look over here, if you add these marks, right, will come out to be, guys, 300. You add this entire stuff, right? Yeah. So 300 is there, guys. Now what they do is, guys, first, whatever score you got out of 300, right? They are going to do one third of that, right? That is one first step. So whatever score you got, you will be definitely getting one third of that. And after doing that, which means why one third? Because they want to calculate with respect to 100 days. So 300 में से जो भी आया आपका उसको one third कर देंगे so that you get the score out of 100 days. Now they would be calculating 73% of it, right? So I'll make it very clear to all of you that how you can calculate your score required based on the last year, depending on the marks obtained in 10th, 12th, your academic diversity and the gender diversity, you can calculate yourself also, right? So if I look a simple calculation, what you can do is one third we did, guys. So 73%, right? One third you calculate of this, right? Of your IIFT score, right? So that's what I'm saying, because the IIFT score you would be doing one, you will calculate one third of it, the IIFT score, whatever you got in the paper, right? And then you're calculating the 73% of it, right? So this would add up to the tally, guys. So what I'm saying, the tally over here is, guys, that you require 15.6. So 73% of your IIFT score divided by 3, you require 15.6, and this 15.6 added to 27 would become 42.6. And being in the general category over here, you could have fetched the call, guys. So if I look at this calculation, guys, probably your IIFT score should be around, guys, if you calculate this entire stuff. So I did a bit of calculation, guys. So maybe somewhere around 65, if I look over here, if you look forward to get, you could have got the call from the IIFT, being a female, non-engineer, 90 plus, 90 plus in 10th and 12th, right? Just a score of 65, guys. Now, if you do the same calculation for the worst category, right? And that is general, you are male, you are engineer, you are, and in 10th and 12th, you have scored less than equal to 55, right? So this was the best which I could have done in general stuff, right? Over here. If I come to this portion, guys, if I look over here, let's calculate 2 marks you got, right? So from 42.6, let's subtract 2. What do I get? 40.6, correct? Now, again, the same thing you would be doing, guys. This time, let me put it over here so you know the difference between these two things, right? So 73% of your IIFT score, right, should be equal to, guys, what? 40.6. So now you know the result formula also, and you can definitely look forward to calculate your IIFT score required as per the last year. So this I equate to 40.6. So I've already done this calculation, guys. So the IIFT score required will come out to be, guys, around, just an approximation, if I look over here, around 167. Look at the difference, guys. More than 100 difference, guys. Oh God. So if you look over here, someone who is a female, let's say in a general category also, right? But if you look at non-engineer, more than 90, both in 10th and 12th, she has a great chance of getting a call from IIT. Look at the difference itself. If I look over here, more than 100 marks difference, guys. No doubt it is in the general. I took the worst category, guys, over here. So in fact, there's the worst category itself altogether, right? Because for the other categories, the cutoff is definitely on the lower side, right? Even if I look, there could be a better category in this part, no doubt. These 27 you would be getting just being a female, non-engineer and above 19, both 10, 12. But if a person with the same marks, like 27, you would be getting on 27, belongs to, let's say, maybe a general EWS or OBC NCL or some other category, then definitely you are at more advantage for sure, right? So anyhow, being in general also having all these criteria fulfilled, you could have got a call of IIFT last year at a 65, right? So I think so. It was damn easy for this category for in the general for getting a call. So students should be aware of this fact, guys, and accordingly they should plan now how they can go section wise. So this is what from my side in terms of the criteria and how they calculate the score, right? Now let's come to the expected pattern and the strategy. That is damn important, guys. So now we know that what scores can clear the sectional cutoff. Just a tentative idea of the last 2 years I gave you, and the overall also I showed you for the last year one picture I've given you. So after this criteria of giving so much weightage to 10th, 12th, academic diversity, gender diversity, things have been a little easier for some of the students, guys. So what I feel is, guys, because the NTA is conducting, guys, so the expected pattern should remain this only, guys. Looking at the past few IIFT papers, guys. So this is the expected paper pattern. But be ready for any kind of surprise also, guys, because I've seen in the past there have been 6 sections also. So 6 sections, 6 sectional cutoffs could be there, right? So what happened that was verbal ability and RC were different sections. DI and LR were different sections. So now when you have 6 sections, guys, it becomes really challenging to manage your time and clear the sectional cutoff. Of course, when you have 6 sections, the sectional cutoff would be low and the overall cutoff is also bound to decrease, guys. But we are expecting 4 sections as usual, what is coming for the past few years. So let's keep it to this pattern, guys. So you already know 25 questions over here, 35 over here, 30, 20, and total questions are 110, marks are 300. Already I've told you all this stuff, right? So marking scheme also, you know, total time, you know, is 2 hours. So it is on 18th of December, you're already aware of, timing is 10 to 12, guys, in the morning. So no sectional timing, guys. So we have to allocate as per our strength and weakness, guys. We'll see to that, and the sectional cutoffs. 1/3 negative for what, guys? For each incorrect answer. So 1/3, if I look over here, this 1/3 would be 1. This will also be 1. This will also be 1. This will be 0.5. So let's see, guys, what we can look forward. So it's a 2 hours. So let me put it, guys, like this. Total duration we have is 120 minutes, guys. Correct. Now, if you look at the on cutoff, it has been a single digit, guys. It can push up, guys, because if I look the past few papers of IIFT, it has been on the higher side also, a double digit like 15 score also. So what I would say that I want you guys to be safe in terms of the sectional cutoff. So this is the time which I'm giving you would surely clear the sectional cutoffs depending what time you are giving to each of the section, guys. So if you just follow this, guys, I'm pretty sure that there's a maximum. If I look over here, the time someone can look forward to give, guys, to each of the sections, so that you easily clear the sectional cutoff, whether the paper is on a little difficult side or maybe it's on a easier side also, right? So what I personally feel is that maybe there are 25 questions over here. If you give 25 minutes in the beginning, right? And again, if I look over here, it depends on you which section what you want to start with, guys. So I normally start with the strength area and end with the weak area, right? So if I look over here, my order could have been, guys, uh, first this section, right? Second, I could have gone with the DILR, guys. Third, I could have gone with the this area, and fourth at the last would have been this. And I tell you, there would be a buffer time concept also. So just wait for a while and watch till the end, guys. So 25 minutes, if I give in the con section, guys, that's my strength also. So I would like to start with the strength so that my confidence is high and I can do well in the other weak areas, right? Now, a lot of people would think of doing general awareness at the beginning, guys. Yes, you can do that, but I just don't want one thing to happen that, let's say, if you are able to attempt very less questions, right? And you feel that you won't be able to clear the cutoff and you start marking flukes or you press the panic button, keeping in mind that, oh God, I cannot clear the cutoff of GK now. What's the point of giving the paper? So I won't suggest, guys, that you go with the GK at the first. So if your GK is not that good, it's a very weak area, just keep it towards the end. I'll tell you what I mean by towards the end. And people who are good at the GK stuff, they can definitely start with this and maximize your score, right? So for me, it would have been at the last, if I look in terms of sections over here. So 25 minutes, I'm sure of that I can do a little bit more because this is my strength area. But keeping this time, keeping in mind that for everyone, you can clear the cutoff. So around 8 marks it is, or maybe around 12 marks or 15 marks. So maybe 5, 6 questions, most of you can do it in this 25 minutes, guys. So spend time with the questions, no doubt. Don't rush through. Uh, Definitely lengthy questions skip altogether in these 25 minutes. Difficult ones skip altogether. The doable ones also, there's no need to rush through, right? And if you can do it in 3, 4 minutes, also those questions, easily you can clear the cutoff, right? So 25 minutes, I would keep it for the con section, guys. Now, when I come to the DLR, my second section, this would have been maybe around 30 minutes because slightly the cutoff for the DLR is slightly more, right? And if I've shown you also, it was 13, guys, over here, double digit it is at least, and 14 over here, right? And one thing I just want to highlight over here, guys, see, normally, if I go few years back, DI used to be really very, very calculative, guys, and students were unable to attempt much from that part, right? Normally, they used to rely on the LR stuff, right? But if I look the last year paper, guys, I think so. The DI was a little bit doable as compared to the LR. LR was a bit challenging. So you have to spend around the 30 questions also. So I would say spend around 30 minutes. And maybe you can again look forward to do around 7, 8 questions, guys, over here. Or maybe it could be more also depending on how speed you can maintain in the paper, right? But I'm pretty sure that in 30 minutes, if the cutoff is around 14 or 13 also, you can easily manage to clear the cutoff, right? So what I would say is, guys, if DI is calculation intensive, difficult one, choices are damn close, guys, then avoid it. But if I look the last year, guys, some DI was doable, guys. Even DI was a little easier than the LR stuff. In the LR, the only questions which were a little easier, guys, were the loose ones, where maybe you get a single question, guys, that could be on coding, decoding, it could be on series also. When you have like uh, 4 questions on a set, that kind of questions on the LR were not that easy, right? So I would say that don't have a notion that DI is going to be calculation intensive as it is in the IIFT. That used to be a history, I would say. If I look the current IIFT, that DLR is the DI specifically. If I look over here, is not that calculation intensive, right? Even I have seen the shift, guys. If I look over here, once the NTA started conducting, guys, the kind of DLR they have given is more shifting towards the CAT type, guys. And so yes, I would be saying that shifting more towards the CAT type, and they have the habit of also copying from the CAT past papers also, right? So just make sure that spend around 30 minutes, good enough to clear the cutoff. Just do the doable ones. It could be in DI, it could be in LR. So you have to do only the doable ones. You don't have to rush through. Don't have a mindset of like Snap or NMAT that you have to rush through, guys. It is not that speed game, right? And so you can see by the cutoffs also, it's not that speed game. You can spend time with the questions so that the sectional cutoffs are clear. Yes, overall goes a little higher, especially for people who belong to the worst category which I've shown you. For them, it is really horrible. But yes, if you belong to a better category in terms of like done well in the 10th, 12th, guys, you need a little lower score overall. I already told you the formula also how to calculate it, guys. So what you can look forward is, guys, after spending the time in this DLR, I would have looked forward to do the VRC. Again, in the VRC, verbal ability used to be a bit scoring earlier, but I don't see now scoring. But still, RCs are damn lengthy, right? So that is a trend of the IFT. So still, you have 35 questions. So I would be recommending maybe 30 minutes. And no doubt, the cutoff has not gone very high for the last 2 years in this section, guys. But if I just go a few years back, it was damn high in the VRC. In fact, the highest, if I look over here, across all the four sections, right? So spend enough time, guys. Don't rush through that. You won't be doing any RC. Should not be like that. Yeah, it is lengthy, but maybe if you can figure out some direct questions are there, fact-based questions are there, try to do that RC, guys. So make sure that you try to give the time in this way to each of the section. Order is totally up to you what you want to do, guys. So want to start with the strength area, or you want to start with a weak area, which could be GK. That's up to you. But starting with the weak area GK and pressing the panic button if not doing well, don't do that. Do it towards the end only. So let's say if I calculate this, guys, this is coming out to what 85 minutes as of now. I think so. Max 8 minutes would be good enough, guys, for these 20 questions. See, you don't have to go for any flukes first off, no flukes at all. Yes, you can look forward for option elimination because in the GK they give you at times match the following questions. So maybe if you are not sure of all the answers in that, but maybe let's say two you are sure of, right? Then try to look the options. Maybe with the help of those two match the following, you can actually eliminate some of the options. So let's say if two options you can eliminate and two are left out, then you can look forward for an intelligent guess in the GK stuff, right? So maximum 8 minutes would be good enough, guys, going through these 20 questions. Maybe you would be able to attempt 5, 6 guys and see that most of them are correct, right? Because the cutoffs I have seen is normally that if you get 4 correct net, nothing wrong, guys, then you can definitely look out to get the cutoff here. So just have 5, 6 questions in your kitty, guys, that you get them correct. And again, I'm saying when I say 5, 6 correct, don't put pressure on yourself that you have to do 5, 6 correct. I just gave an idea. If you are finding the GK to be difficult, normally it is difficult, guys. So maybe the cutoff can drop, right? So don't go for any flukes, right? Yes, if you are able to eliminate two options by using your option elimination, guys, because you need not have to know the complete answer in the match the following. Two options are left out. You can take the intelligent guess, which I can look forward, right? Now this will not add up to, guys, 120, right? If you are thinking of why it is not adding up, so yes, it is not going to add up. So how much it is, guys? 93 minutes, right? So let's subtract that from here. So how much you are left out is with around 27 minutes. So this 27 minutes is a buffer concept, guys. So you have to keep a buffer time concept in the IIFT, guys, for sure. What you'll do in this buffer time, guys, so you've already gone through all the 4 sections, right? Like I have gone like first section, second, third, fourth. Now I would decide this buffer time I have to spend. One is as per my strength. That is one thing. And second is the section or sections which are scoring. So what I mean is, guys, you've already gone through the entire 4 sections. Of course, you won't be spending the buffer time over here because 8 minutes is good enough to do these 20 questions, right? So my buffer time would be spent in 3 sections only. So maybe if you feel that this particular area is your strength and you know that yes, in this sections are still few more doable ones which I can do, which I can score, go and attack those questions, right? So maybe you feel that these 2 areas or these 2 sections you cannot score beyond because all the doable ones you have done. You feel that quant is your strength area and there are a lot of doable ones. You can spend the entire time with the quant also. But I would say that if you can look forward for 2 sections where you can score, Maybe that could be your quant and DLR, or it could be verbal and DLR, or it could be some other combination I can make forward, guys. So what I'm saying is that try do the remaining doable, which you could not do because of the sectional time limit which you have decided for yourself, right? So yes, it would be tempting for you during the time allocation for each of the section, guys, that you should spend more time with that. You can come back, guys. Please remember that, because what happens when you overshoot the time, it may be possible that you may miss out the cutoff of any of the section. So it is no point of scoring very high and missing the sectional cutoff, right? So always just see the paper. And if you know that, yes, in the quant, more questions you can do it later on in the buffer time, come back to that. You feel apart from quant, you can do it in DLR also, then these two sections you can look forward, or you feel that quant is something I cannot score more, DLR is something I cannot score more, VRC I can look forward to score maximum, do it. So there would be a lot of students who would love to spend the time, the buffer time 27 minutes in one section, that could be VRC. So it depends on you. So I feel maybe this 27 minutes would be either spent in one section completely for some of the students, or maybe if I look over here for other students, it could be spent in two sections, and for remaining, it could be spent in the three sections. Of course, GK I'm not counting in this buffer time. You won't be spending time over there, right? So you take a call as per the paper difficulty level, the section difficulty level, and as per your strength and weakness, guys. But remember that you have to keep the buffer time concept, guys. Now, one very, very damn important, interesting thing, guys, I'm going to tell you. So I've already talked about the strategy so that you can look forward to follow. This is something very interesting, guys. In the IIFT, they have the tendency to give a lot of questions as errors, right? Not purposely. Some problem in making the paper, guys, they do the error. So please remember what is the way they're going to tackle. So let me tell you, guys, if there is any error, guys, so let's see the first thing, how the NTA is going to address that. If all options are found to be correct, right? Full marks to be awarded to all students who have attempted the question, guys. That is one thing. Second, if a question for any region is found to be wrong, or none of the option in the question is correct, guys, the benefit of marks will be given to only those students who have attempted, guys. So it is not like to everyone, right? So remember those who have attempted. So make sure that if you find any error in the question, you can figure out. Don't get bogged down with that. Just make sure that you mark that particular problem, guys, so that you can get the marks later on, right? And one more thing, guys, if it is found that more than one option is correct, right, then mark will be given to the candidates who have attempted any one of those correct options, right? So this is the marking scheme for the errata, right? And so if I look over here, so make sure that you do remember this, guys. Very important, right? Let's quickly come to the key takeaways, guys. So as I told you guys, I have highlighted the expected IIFT paper, guys. So just be ready for any kind of surprise if it happens. Chances are that the paper pattern would remain the same what we have discussed, guys. But make sure that you focus on the marking scheme. That could be different. How many sections instead of 4? There could be 6. In the past, there have been. And just have a look at the number of questions also, right? And don't press the panic button if there is some change, right? It is for everyone, guys. Remember, sectional cutoff is there. Sufficient time has to be given, guys. Don't spend too much time in one particular section, guys. No subsectional cutoff is there. What I mean by this is, guys, like DI and LR, if I look over here, they are clubbed together as one section. So don't think of that DI cutoff would be different and LR cutoff would be different. Even if I look in the VRC, VA cutoff would be different, RC would be different. It is not like that. VRC as a whole, there is a cutoff. LRD as a whole, there is a cutoff. The cutoffs can be there for DI, can be for VA also. When, let's say, they come up with 6 different sections. So VA is a separate section, RC is a separate one. In that case, yes, we'll have the cutoff for VA as well as RC. DI is separate, LR is separate. We'll have the cutoffs for both the sections, right? So in that case, you can have, as of now, the current format. If I look over here, you don't have a separate cutoff for DI, separate cutoff for LR. It's a combined, right? So whatever is doable, DI is doable, LR is doable, do it, right? So it could be DI doable, LR difficult, or it could be LR doable, guys, DI difficult, or both could be difficult, both could be doable also, right? So judge on the day, right? Definitely you have to keep the buffer time so that you maximize your overall score. So the sectional cutoffs are definitely a little lower on the section wise front, guys. But definitely, if I look the overall cutoff, that is a little higher. So you have to keep the buffer time and try to spend in the areas where you can score and as per your strength, right? Don't get bogged down with the errata, guys. And I already told you how the errata will be dealt by the IIFT, guys. This is what I've shown you the picture. So don't get bogged down. There could be some errors. Accordingly, you have to look forward. Don't follow the time division, guys, completely blindly. What I mean is, guys, let's say I told you, let's say 25 minutes you have to spend around in the quant. Definitely in 25 minutes, you would be surely able to clear the cutoff, right? Whether it is on the easier side, or maybe if I look at on the moderate side, or maybe on the difficult side, right? But maybe if you feel that the quant is horrible, right? And you know that the cutoff will bound to go much lower. So not necessarily that you spend around 25 minutes. So it all depends what is the difficulty level of the section in the IIFT and what is your strength also. You can take the sectional time limit which I've given you the call as per the paper also. So just don't follow blindly. But what I'm saying that the cutoffs which I have sectional cutoffs in terms of time I'm saying I have highlighted over here based on the cutoffs. So this much time if you give, you should not miss out the sectional cutoff guys of any of the section for sure. But this can vary depending on the difficulty level, and that's what you have to judge in the paper also, right? The last 2 points, guys, generally the lengthy RCs you have, guys, calculation intensive DI generally you have, but if I look the last year DI, the DI was doable, it was not that calculation intensive, so don't go with a fixed mindset, guys. GK section is generally difficult, guys, no flukes at all. Try do it, maybe if you do the other 3 sections, you can do it, and after that you can come to GK, that would be great. If you are not good at it, so that once you're done with all the sectional cutoffs of each of the other section, then GK could be handled. And definitely go for option elimination, guys, so that you can look forward to mark something in the GK. Let's say 2 options you can eliminate, then you can take the chance in the remaining 2, right? But of course, no flukes. Only go for the intelligent guess, guys. No flukes at all. Don't be desperate. If it is damn difficult, the cutoff will bound to decrease for sure, right? So be hopeful about that right now. So the big challenge over here is the sectional cutoff if you can meet. And I've already given you the 2 cases in the general category. The worst and the best scenario, guys. There was a huge difference in the IIFT score. So please be hopeful now that yes, if you have done well in 10th and 12th, maybe if you belong to a non-engineering category, being a female, just at a score of 65, if I look over here, you could have got a call last year, right? So that is not a big challenge. 65. See, remember that the 3 sections, quant, LRDI, VRC, every question is of 3 marks, guys, and only for GK it is 1.5. So 65 marks is not that difficult if I look overall for the best category in the general, which I've shown you guys. So wish you all the best for IIFT, guys. Make sure that you do like the video, guys, and share with your friends who are going to write the IIFT, guys. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, Cat2, please do so. Love you all, guys. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much.